What's going on, everybody? Pogiforce here. You're watching Pogiforce Plays, and welcome back to another live reaction to the newest Sea of Thieves cinematic trailer for the new adventure, Lost Sands. So far, I don't really know much about this adventure other than that on the cover art we see Merrick on one side and the Servant of the Flame on the other side. So right away we seem to be getting a good versus evil vibe here. A lot of people on Reddit have been suggesting that it might be finally time for some player engaged choices to take place where people get to pick a side. I'm not 100% sure if that's what it's going to be, but if it is, we'll probably see a rebuild Golden Sands or destroy Golden Sands situation. I'm not sure what else we would be getting out of it, but if we take a look at this very first frame here, we have it paused on the very start of the video. It's Golden Sands. I don't really see anything here that would really tell us much, unlike other of these live reactions where we could see something at the start. It's really just Golden Sands here. I don't see anything, or anyone for that matter. Speaking of, there is a new murder mystery going on, so we might want to try to keep a careful eye out and see if we can spot any clues as we go. So without any further ado, we're going to watch this through once. I'll react to it live, and then we will go back through it and pick it apart based on what we see and go from there. So without any further ado, let's start the video. Alright, so we got the construct.
The Reapers might think they've already won, but we'll show them that we don't stand for that sort of nonsense in the Sea of Thieves.
Cool.
We can fight back.
They don't seem like they don't really
Yeah, and who's gonna rebuild it? You?
Well, obviously we can't do it alone. We're gonna need every brave and true pirate that calls these seas home.
I mean, it doesn't look all that damaged in the first place. Crab!
We can and bring them here.
Okay, supplies.
We'll show the Reapers we don't give up so easily.
Oh, and he noticed the parrot? Oh, and now we're over at Reaper's Hideout. We got the Servant of the Flame. Is that a new keg? The bird poops on his shoulder.
So, they think they can just rebuild.
He's got some kind of voodoo doll in his hand. Bunch of stuff on the table.
Allowed to restore Golden Sands.
That new keg again.
We will call more pirates to our banners.
He's talking to the parrot. He might be passing on a message. And the parrot is off. We got a Reaper out here. And he's strapping one of those kegs to a rowboat. Okay. Choose your side. Ooh, so it is a thing where you pick a side. Okay. All right. Let's watch it through again. So we got Golden Sands. We're gonna go through it. We're gonna like kind of pick through it now. We got Golden Sands. So the bird, in case you guys don't know, everything the bird sees, the bird's been noted in the past to be a spy for the Servant of the Flame. So everything the bird sees, it can somehow relate back to him. When we saw the red mist falling onto the servant's shoulder, I guess that's how he does that.
The Reapers might think they've already won, but we'll show them that we don't stand for that sort of nonsense in the Sea of Thieves.
Okay, so this shot here, we've got Merrick, and we've got this lady here. She's actually kind of a stand-in for the player character. She appears in a lot of the cinematic trailers whenever the player is kind of presented. She's one of a few different parts that they use, but this is one of them. This guy, I think he's the tool salesman, and his smock's got the tool salesman on it, the tools logo on it. So we got a couple of the island's NPCs here already, because the next guy we see over here, who's kind of being mouthy to Merrick,
Yeah, and who's gonna
that guy, he is the clothing merchant.
rebuild it? You?
He's trying to unboard his door.
Obviously we can't do it
Now, again, the buildings aren't in that bad a shape. I feel like it's really not going to take all that much
alone.
to rebuild it,
We're
but
gonna need every brave and true pirate that calls these.
And that guy there is another player stand-in. He's carrying a crate of merchant supplies.
Seas home. We need to gather as many supplies as we can and bring them here.
Now this makes me think of, I wasn't playing World of Warcraft back then, but I heard of an event called the War Effort, where you, both sides were gathering supplies in order to accomplish a goal. And they were like donating cash and materials and things like that in order to advance this goal. So it sounds like we might be doing something here with the rebuilding of Golden Sands. So at least the Merrick side of this equation, it seems like it's a resource run. We're gathering resources, we're bringing them to Golden Sands to help supply the rebuild. It might be in the form of a merchant run, which means that the two factions that we are seeing associated with the Golden Sands side here is the Hunter's Call through Merrick, and then the Merchant Alliance through the supplies that are being supplied. And actually, it's actually kind of interesting if you think about it, because the first 3 adventures were all about Belle, and then Belle in the third adventure was almost like she was passing the torch to Merrick, because now we're following Merrick. It was Belle in Shrouded Islands, Belle in Forts of the Lost, or Forts of the Forgotten, Belle and Merrick in Shrouded Deep, and now we have just Merrick in Lost Sands. So I'm wondering if somewhere down the line, Merrick might pass the torch, maybe to Lessity? Maybe to Lessity in the future. We are seeing things with the docks, and people are suggesting that it could be a sea dog sort of thing in Adventure run by Lessity. So maybe that's kind of introduced and tied in down the line. But that's me theory crafting for something way down the line. For this adventure, it seems like it's really just going to be the hero side. The hero side of the equation is gathering supplies for Golden Sands.
We'll show the Reapers we don't.
Now then the bird, now I'm really interested to see what's going on over here at the Reaper's hideout. First of all, this shot right here, this is actually a really beautiful shot of Reaper's hideout. Like, there's something about the detail here. I love this shot. I'm not a Reaper player. We will sail together, my friends. But this is a beautiful shot of an otherwise dour looking place. Alright, so here, hold on a second. If we pause here, first of all, ammo boxes here. I don't think there's normally ammo boxes in this room. And then we see the bird imparting what it saw to him, and it's interesting to see how it actually does that. And he's holding a voodoo doll in his hand, and that crest on the top, that actually to me kind of resembles Briggsy's hat. That almost makes me think of Briggsy's hat. And wouldn't it be cool if Briggsy somehow had a way of coming back? But it also could be the crest on the Veil of the Ancients. So the voodoo doll could be relating to that in one way or another. It could be relating to the ancient that supposedly he has in captivity from Forts of the Forgotten. Because don't think I forgot about that.
We must act swiftly.
Okay, we got a bunch of things on this table here, but there's a better shot. So we got one of those voodoo skulls. I think they said that these skulls were the reason why the islands were shrouded in the first place. We've got a model of a galleon, and it looks like he's putting the voodoo figure on the galleon, and it actually has a matching crest up top. So could this be somehow him bringing back or getting control of Briggsy? Because Briggsy was basically at the control of the Gold Hoarder before. We also got a ritual skull here, and I'm not sure what he would want with a ritual skull, but ritual skulls we've seen have been capable of bringing back souls from the Sea of the Damned through the Fort of the Damned in the form of the Ghost of Grey Marrow. So maybe he could be using this to bring back Briggsy and then use the voodoo doll to control her, using pieces of her bones? I'm not 100% sure. And then there seems to be like some sort of like creature voodoo doll here. We got what looks like a drawing of a dragon here, so maybe it's relating to this. And then we get a nice close look at this keg. This keg actually looks like the same keg as Art of the Trickster. Did we ever find out who that trickster was? I don't think we ever found out who that trickster was. I mean, maybe it was Wanda the Warsmith. But if you guys know who the Trickster and Art of the Trickster was, do let me know. But this looks like that same kind of keg, except it's clearly got Reaper colors, the black, the gold, and the glowing red.
Store golden sands. We will call more pirates to our banners.
And there's the war call for them. So this is going to be interesting. Then we've got this shot here and of the Reaper tying one of those kegs to the rowboat. And I just realized that this is a Reaper cannon rowboat. It's Reaper colors. It's got the runes on it. It's black. Okay. Now, it's interesting to show that they have a rowboat here and that they're showing them strapping the kegs to the rowboat. Because I'm thinking that this might be, like, if the heroes are trying to bring supplies, the villains are trying to prevent the supplies from getting there. So if they're bringing these special kegs, the goal here might be to destroy the hero ships with these kegs. And I guess maybe these kegs, if they detonate and the detonation catches any of the supplies that are supposed to be delivered, it'll actually destroy the supplies. Because here's the thing, right? If you think about it, if it's merchant goods, if it's treated like merchant goods are destructible to a certain degree. And so I think these special cannons, these special barrels are designed to target those special goods. So I think that's what the side is going to be choosing here. I don't know if you'll be able to play both sides. I don't know if there's going to be rewards for both sides. It'll be interesting if there's rewards for both sides, but I already know who I'm going to be. I'm going to be on Merrick's side because Merrick is one of my favorite NPCs in the game. I'm not on the side of Flameheart. Flameheart is a demagogue, and I don't care for him one bit. This rowboat is cool, though, but I have a feeling that the rowboat may be a way to try to prevent... Because the Reapers, you would think, if they were able to use regular ships, they theoretically have it easier. They just detonate these special kegs, destroy your loot, and that's the end of it. So they probably have to do it in these rowboats. And the cannons and the kegs are strapped to the rowboat, so you have to, like, basically sail up with the rowboat and then detonate the keg. You gotta be sneaky. You gotta sneak up on people. Which is not something Reapers normally do. Of course, that's just all speculation, but I think these new kegs are definitely going to be something to do with it, and I definitely think that it's going to be a merchant run situation on the hero side versus kegging people on the villain side. So the hero side is going to have a hard sell to try to get people on their side unless they already have the loyalty there. I didn't see anything that would indicate a clue for the murder. And I haven't been very good at tracking that murder, which is the reason why that I haven't put out a video for it. Because I don't have very many clues of my own, and I can't really talk about what I've found because I haven't found much. So I'm sadly not going to be the person to follow for that. I might put out something in the event, but I will have to clearly state that most of the legwork, like 99.9% of the legwork, was done by other people. I am trying to do my best here with this mystery, but I'm not the smart guy to figure it out. I am going to continue to do these live reactions because A, you guys seem to really enjoy them, and B, it's kind of a way of continuing to document and catalog these adventures, as well as the adventure themselves. I'm going to be live streaming this adventure on Thursday, because I don't think that this is one that I'm going to be able to pre-record. It seems like it's one that's going to be a constant involved thing. I think that during the time of this adventure, if it's really going to be a side A versus side B, it's going to be a matter of who is most dedicated. And I'm going to make sure that Golden Sands comes back. I'm going to do my best. So that is going to be live streamed. I am going to capture that, and I am going to edit it down for YouTube. Again, to catalog these things for posterity, because it's become my mission since the beginning of Adventures to try to catalog this, to keep the story in one place, so that way people in the future who want to catch up can see what's going on. And I might have to do a recap at some point of the adventures up to this point, just to kind of like tell the story neatly so far. But that's it for this one, guys. It's definitely going to be an interesting adventure. I think a lot of people are going to be excited. Whereas the last one was very PvE, work together. This is definitely PvP, working against each other, breaking the player base into camps and pitting them against each other. So it's going to be interesting. That's all for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I am Pogiforce, and I'll see you guys next time. Stay awesome, everyone.